everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Reviews After Midnight. And I thank you for joining me on another video. I appreciate it. Thank you. If you've been following these videos, you'll know that the last video that I did a review of, I really did not like. I could probably say that I hated it. And that was Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag, the film with Joe Pesci. And just to kind of catch people up, if you're watching this video but you haven't seen the other one, back in the day when it originally came out, my friends and I went to a free screening and we walked out. 10 minutes into the movie, we walked out. So decades later, I find it at Dollar Tree and decide to give the film a second chance. I've given some films recently second chances and liked them. So I made it through 12 minutes and then turned it off. But like I've told myself, and I've mentioned on here, once I start a movie for this review, for Reviews After Midnight, I have to finish it. It doesn't matter how bad it is. I have to finish it. So I forced myself to sit through it. I did not like it. In fact, I think I liked it even less. It had one or two things in it I liked. So this time around, on purpose, I picked a film that I like. And it's a film I don't think a lot of people would go, oh yeah, that's a great movie, because it isn't. But it's one of my favorites as far as like bad movies go. And Mystery Science Theater 3000 did a great episode on it. It's now one of, I think, one of the classic episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And it is has an associate from Ed Wood from his films is in it. So I'm kind of getting a little closer to what it is. And it's a film that I just really like. And I wanted to buy it and watch it and review it because SOV Horror just released Return to Yucca Flats. And so I wanted, like I said, to buy this, watch it, and review it. And it is Beast of Yucca Flats, starring the great Tor Johnson. And this is directed by Coleman Francis, who also did many films that MST made fun of. And it's just one of those films and one of those filmmakers that you just can't get away from. You know, you gotta watch it. It's just one of those movies. Look at this cover. I mean, that's a great cover, really colorful. And you gotta love Tor. He's got like the fire in his eyes and he's changing into that beast. And you got the atomic blast in the background with the two guys falling here. And it's I think it's just one of those really good bad movies. It's only 53 minutes. So, or 54, they say back here, they round it up because it's like 53 minutes and some seconds. Black and white, made in 1961. Conrad Brooks is even in this. He has a very tiny little role at the beginning, which is unfortunate, and I got this from oldies.com. It is a public domain movie, so not a lot of effort to make it look great was put into this, but all of them kind of look the same. So you could probably catch this. The movie itself is on YouTube, and the Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode is also on YouTube. And I just really like this movie. I think that it's got some cool shots in it. I like the music. I think Tor running around the desert, just kind of like with this Gandalf stick or cane or staff, whatever you want to call it, is a great idea. Maybe he needed it because, of his weight and age and everything. Maybe he needed that to walk around with. This does have Barbara Francis, so Coleman Francis' wife. It does have his two kids in it. And I just really enjoy it. I think it's just really fun. I thought of maybe even doing like an audio commentary for my own channel on it, not to goof on it, but just to kind of talk about it, you know. Boring inside. At times you get a catalog. At times Oldies sends a catalog, but this time they didn't. So, but I like the disc. Once again, very colorful. And it's just a lot of fun. So let's do a little bit of research on this. Well, first, let's find out what this is all about, because they give quite the description here. So let's see. A Soviet scientist's plans to defect are ruined when he is ambushed by KGB agents. The assassins pursue him across a desert wasteland where they are caught at ground zero of a nuclear test site. Although the scientist survives the bomb's detonation, atomic radiation transforms him into a monster. Right there. They do not hide that he changes into a monster. Skin peeling off. Oh yeah, that's clear. That's right here. We see. Yep, they're not lying. See, skin peeling off his affected body, the Beast embarks on a violent rampage, killing travelers and kidnapping women. A pair of rangers track the mutant through the corpse-strewn desert with one objective: destroy the killer and end his spree. The distinctive style of Coleman Francis is perplexing, mind-numbing, and yet often, though unintentionally, creepy. Due to budgetary limitations, The Beast of Yucca Flats was filmed without sound, with narration and the occasional dialogue added afterwards. Tor Johnson's trademark lumbering only adds to the absurdly and inadvertent humor. So yeah, this is something where if you wanted to listen to it in your car, because I like the soundtrack to this, I actually think it's pretty good. Some guy on a YouTube, actually, there's a soundtrack. He just took it from the film, and just made it into this, little file that has the music on it. And so I downloaded it because I like the music. But you could watch this in your car like an audiobook, or listen to this in the car like an audiobook. Can't watch an audiobook, but you can listen to an audiobook. And there is the occasional dialogue which doesn't really match. At times he cuts away to something. Coleman Francis will cut away from something because he did edit the movie. So the dialogue doesn't have to match. There's a lot of Tor Johnson kind of like screaming or roaring that he does that I really like. I think that there are some nice shots in this. There is a direct ripoff from North by Northwest, and which I really, really like. Code Red Cuba, that's another film that Coleman Francis has made. That's really good. That also Mystery Science Theater 3000 did an episode of. That's a great one too. I just really like this film. So that's why I want to recommend it to people that think, oh, why do I want to watch this? Because it's fun. This is let's watch two movies because they'd be short. Let's watch, like The Beast from Yucca Flats and Bride of the Monster, because Tor Johnson's in that one also. Get a 6-pack, grab a pizza, and just enjoy. Just have fun, just kind of laughing at the screen. And you might get something out of it. Who knows? Because you could even learn something from bad filmmaking. So let's do, like I said, a little bit of research here. So let's see here. Okay, so let's find out, where is Yucca Flats? Where is Yucca Flats?
Nevada test. According to Google Arts and Culture, Yucca Flat is a closed desert drainage basin, one of 4 major nuclear test regions within the Nevada test site, and is divided into 9 test sections, areas 1 through 4 and 6 through 10. Yucca Flat is located at the eastern edge of NTS, about 10 miles north of Frenchman Flat, and 65 miles from Las Vegas, Nevada.
So I could go 65 miles out to Yucca Flats and actually see the locations of where they shot this film. That's how close I am to it because I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. There is the Atomic Testing Museum out here. That is great. I've been to it 3 times now, I believe. Got a couple coffee mugs from them because you got to buy a coffee mug if there's one available. And they talk all about atomic testing. And it's a really cool place. I don't think they've promoted this movie, but they have promoted other films that were shot out there, like monster movies or just films that deal with atomic testing in general. So things like Them, the giant ant movie. They do talk about Godzilla, especially the original. And it's a pretty cool place. And they used to, before, COVID hit, that you could take tours out to the atomic testing area. The 4th Indiana Jones film, Crystal Skulls, which everybody loves. That's where Indiana Jones gets nuked and gets hides in the refrigerator, which is where the term now nuking the fridge comes from, which I think is they wanted it to take over Jumping the Shark, but I don't think it worked. But in that area, The Hills Have Eyes, the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, is shot out there. Let's see, The Conqueror with John Wayne. That's actually where he got cancer and the whole cast and crew got cancer because the radiation was still around. So it's this huge area, and I would love to go out there because they say now it's safe. But this is where that's supposed to take place, is that Tor is trying to escape from these, from what they say, the KGB, and that's where the bomb drops, and we get the huge mushroom cloud, and he turns into the Beast, and they die, and then he roams around the desert, killing people. He kills a couple in a car. They have I believe it's like a Volkswagen Bug, and the guy, the girl's in the passenger seat doing her thing, and the guy's in the back kind of fixing the engine because they broke down, and Tor kills the guy and takes the girl. And at first he carries her like this, which I thought was, oh, that's awesome. It's very Universal monster-like. And then he just kind of puts her kind of on his shoulder, like leans her against her and kind of drags her with her feet in the dirt. And I thought, okay, well, maybe even for Tor being the size that he is and everything, maybe carrying a person might be too much, because it would look great if he did walk around with her like this, because the Mummy did it, and the Frankenstein monster did it, and Creature of the Black Lagoon did it, and it just looks great that when you hold somebody that way. Got my indie film cafe mug here. Been showing that off on a couple other videos, but this will be the first time that's on this show. So, and I figured since I got a little thing in there. Since this video is going to be on the Indie Film Cafe website, I would show it off. So please subscribe to them. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the videos. We would appreciate it. So he goes after like 2 kids, which are Coleman Francis's, sons and stuff like that. So let's look at, because I've now started this sheet, the question sheet for movies. This is the same sheet that I used on 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. So let's see if I can apply this to this. Okay. So, and what I want to do is, there's also great quotes from this movie too, like Flag on the Moon. Where did it come from? I mean, just Coleman Francis just throws words out and they don't make any sense. So let's go to Wikipedia. Okay, so The Beast of Yucca Flats, released to television as Atomic Monster, The Beast of Yucca Flats, is a 1961 B-movie horror film written and directed by Coleman Francis. It was produced by Anthony Cardoza. So let's see, what else has Coleman Francis done? I did mention one thing, Red Zone Cuba. Let's see. So Beast of Yucca Flats, 1961. The Skydivers, 1963. Red Zone Cuba, 1966. All were filmed in the vicinity of Santa Carlita, California. And Coleman Francis died at the age of 53, January 15th, 1973, Hollywood, California. His active years were 1948 to 1973, and his wife is Barbara Francis, and he does have 2 kids. So let's look at. Wow, he's actually directed a lot. So I'm not going to name them all, but I'll name the ones that I know. Some of these are kind of interesting, actually. So Killers from Space, he was uncredited, 1954. That's a good one with Peter Graves. I like that one. This Island Earth, uncredited, 1955. T-Bird Gang, 1959. The Jailbreakers, 1960. That's weird. It says The Beast of Yucca Flats, uncredited, 1961. Skydivers, uncredited, 1963. The Thrill Killers, uncredited, 1964. Lemon Grove Kids Meet the Monsters, 1965. Murder Psycho, 1965. Red Zone Cuba, 1966. Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, 1970. He directed episodes of Highway Patrol, Dragnet, M Squad, which is where they took Police Squad from. Oh, I see. I was first looking up actor. So all the uncredited stuff was under actor. I didn't realize that. Okay, so he's uncredited in actor. Actor in television was like Highway Patrol, Dragnet, M Squad. Okay. Then director, it's only showing 3 films: Beast of Yucca Flats, Skydivers, and Night Train to Mundo Fine, also known as Red Zone Cuba. And okay, so Francis died in California on January 15th, 1973, at the age of 53. Though, oh God, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Art O Scolius. Oh, maybe I got that right. Art O Scolius. What is that? It's the thickening, hardening, and loss of elasticity of the walls of the arteries. This process gradually restricts the blood flow from one's organs and tissues and can be led to severe heart risk brought on by arthrosiceris. God, I just said it too, and now I'm having a hard time. Which is a form of, oh, come on, arteriosiris, caused by the buildup of fatty plaques, cholesterol, and some other substances in and on artery walls. It can be brought on by smoking, bad diet, and many genetic factors. So, but if we go back, they say that's the official death. So is listed as the official death. Cardoza says Francis' body was found in the back of a station wagon at the Vine Street Ranch Market with a plastic bag over his head and a tube going into his mouth or around his throat. So it sounds like he didn't die from smoking or being fat or eating poorly. Sounds like he was freaking murdered. That's a movie right there. Wow. Okay. Estimated budget for Beast of Yucca Flats was 34,000. The film stars Swedish former wrestler Tor Johnson as the Beast. It stars Anthony Cardoza, Coleman Francis, and Jim Oliphant in bit parts, as well as Conrad Brooks in a very small role. Director Francis cast his two sons, Ronald and Alan Francis, in the film as the two lost boys. This is why we need a good version of this, so we can get audio commentary by the kids. The plot concerns a Soviet scientist named Joseph Javorsky, Tor Johnson, who defects and flees to a Nevada test site called Yucca Flats, only to be turned into a mindless monster by atomic radiation, stalking the desert. The film has very little dialogue, and most of the speech is done by an off-screen narrator. Okay. So now that we know a little bit about, well, let's go back up here. So Anthony Cardoza is another one of these guys. Anthony Tony Cardoza, he died in 2015, was an American actor and film producer. A number of B movies that he produced are considered to be among the worst of all time and were immortalized through Mystery Science Theater 3000. So his active years were 1959 through 1996. He has one kid. Cardoza worked, well, they don't give anything. It's just his film career, but no, well, there was a selective filmography. So let's see. Cardoza worked on over a dozen films, but is perhaps best known for his three collaborations with Coleman Francis in the 1960s: The Beast of Yucca Flats, The Skydivers, and Red Zone Cuba. Cardoza's work would be remembered in the 1990 television series Mystery Science Theater 3000, as 4 of his 5 films would be lampooned. His 3 collaborations with Coleman Francis and the Hellcats. Let's look at death for him. Complications from a stroke. I think that's better than what Coleman Francis got. So Anthony Cardoza looks like he also worked with Ed Wood. So Final Curtain, that's Ed Wood. Night of the Ghouls is Ed Wood. Beast of Yucca Flats is related to Ed Wood. The Skydivers, Red Zone Cuba, the Hellcats, Bigfoot, Outlaw Riders, Smokey and the Hot Wire Gang, Inside Out, Upside Down, Crime of Crimes, Raw Force, Heated Vengeance, Misfit Patrol, and then he was a writer, producer, and director, 46 episodes of the Joy Wilkerson TV talk variety show. Okay, so now we know a little bit about what we're reviewing here. Okay, so let's get to the list. Okay, so film title, that would be The Beast of Yucca Flats. You could also include a star rating here. Now I'm going to do this as a bad movie star rating. So don't think when I give this the review I am that it's like Citizen Kane or something. I would probably say on a bad movie level, like a it's so good, it's so bad it's good level, I would give this 3 stars. I'd give this 3 Beasts, or 3 Tor Johnsons, or 3 atomic explosions. Let's see. What did you expect from this film? To be entertained, really. That's it. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. Some people would probably find it boring, but because I live in Nevada and I'm out here in Las Vegas and there's a ton of desert, I enjoyed it. You know, I like the desert. I like, the sun and the blue skies and the heat and all that type of stuff to a point. Would I rather be living in snow? Yes. But as far as being out in Vegas, it has its own look, its own style, its own feel. And which is why a lot of my stuff I like to shoot when it's bright skies and the sun is out. And if I could shoot in the desert, which I have, I will. So I found it entertaining and it succeeded. There we go. What type of film is this? So it could be science fiction, maybe sci-fi horror. I think that works. Sci-fi horror. Does it have a message? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of films that came out in the 50s and the 60s and still until this day that talk about the atomic bomb and the effects that it had, and still does on people. So, the two bombs that were dropped in Japan during, the end of World War II, the atomic testing site here, that's in Nevada, all this stuff affected people. It killed people. And it was even Albert Einstein, who helped create the bomb, has said that, he wishes that he was a watchmaker instead because of what the bomb has done to people, its implications and stuff. So there's definitely an anti-atomic bomb message to this. What happens in the film? Does the plot make sense? Is it easy enough to follow? Is it believable? All right. So first one, what happens in this film? We kind of already went over that. Scientist gets hit with a nuclear blast. He goes and starts killing people in the desert, and people have to stop it. Does the plot make sense? To a degree. I had no problem following it. So because nothing is explained, and that's probably one of the worst things you could do in a movie is actually explain it, because then you could pick it apart, because there is no explanation to the bomb dropping and Tor becoming this creature, this beast. It makes sense. Sure, why not? Is it easy to follow? Yes, it is. I thought it was. Pretty simple stuff. Is it believable? Like I just said, because they don't explain it, it's believable. It could happen in the way that the film suggests, because they don't give an explanation, which is good. I actually think that's a good thing. The characters. Who are the main characters and what are they like? The main characters are, of course, Tor Johnson is the Beast. You also have, they don't show a picture of them. Well, they don't show a picture of them, but there's two Rangers, which we read about on the back, that are after Tor. There is a dad that is searching for his kids that get lost out in the desert. The mom just stays by the car, and then the dad goes to find help and just disappears. We never see him again. We meet up with him. He tells the mom, stay here just in case the kids come back. And she stays on the road in the desert with no water, no food, no nothing. And we only see him like one other time try to get through a gate, and that's it. He disappears. I rewound the movie. I'm like, did I miss something? Did I fall asleep? No, it's like they just didn't shoot his stuff. We have no idea what happens to the dad, but the dad's trying to find the kids, and the Rangers eventually find the kids. They maybe kill Tor Johnson or the Beast. We don't know. He moves like 3 times. So, and he even goes to pet a bunny. So he may or may not still be alive. Maybe we'll find out in the SOV horror in Return to Yucca Flats, David C. Hayes, which I plan on picking up soon, which is why I got this. We'll find out maybe what happens to him, or maybe it's a completely different beast in that movie. I don't know. I've never seen it. Who else is in this? We have random people being killed. There's a very weird beginning where a topless woman is fixing herself up in the mirror. She gets onto a bed, and then she's strangled by a man who we never see his face, but it could be Tor Johnson as the Beast because the shirt is all torn up. Like the sleeves are all torn up. It makes no sense at all. There's like a ticking clock going, and then that cuts to a plane. So yeah, so there's random people that get killed and stuff like that. Who are the actors playing these parts? Well, I can't give you exact names of most of the people, but we got, Tor Johnson, we got Conrad Brooks, Barbara Francis, and then we got the two kids that we mentioned here. What was it, Donald and like Richard or something were the sons. Well, actually I got it right here. Let's see. So cast. A lot of Francises in this. So Barbara Francis, Ronald Francis. So Ronald Francis is the dad that we never see again. I don't know, maybe he ditched. Maybe he's just like, screw this. This is my opportunity to get out of here. I didn't want these kids to begin with. Kind of his way of going out and getting a pack of cigarettes and not coming back. Alan Francis. So it's Ronald and Alan Francis. Those are the two kids. Or is it? So wait, so Barbara Francis is the mom. Ronald and Alan Francis are the kids. Jim Oliphant, it says vacationing husband. Where would the dad be? Oh, so Douglas Mellor must be the dad. Barbara's the mom. Ronald and Alan are the kids. Jim Oliphant is vacationing husband. He must be the guy who dies by the Volkswagen. Linda, vacationing wife. She's the one that Tor takes out of the car and brings to his lair, his cave, which he finds very quickly. Anthony Cardoza is one of the KGB drivers. He's also helpful neighbor. Anybody else in here worth mentioning? Conrad Brooks as man at airfield. They make a big deal in the credits of this newsboy, which is Graham Stafford. The strangled woman at the beginning is Lanelle Caddo. Coleman Francis as police station attendant and newspaper patron, because somebody buys the paper from the little kid. Okay. So that's who all those people are. And are they good in their parts? I can't tell. The movie's silent and it has a narrator with the occasional dialogue. I guess for what they do, they're fine. So yeah, I guess they're fine. What is the camera work like? Most of it is not great. There are certain shots that are actually really nice. There's a shot under a plane where the stairs go down, and oh no, that's not what I'm thinking. They have a lot of planes. Yeah, no, the stairs don't come down. The plane lands. This isn't a nice shot, but the plane lands and Tor is in the plane. It cuts to a shot, then it cuts back, and then he's outside the plane. So he must have had problems getting out of the plane. But I mean, there are some nice shots of the desert, and there's some nice like silhouetted shots of Tor. The stuff in the cave, because they put the camera way back in the cave, so it's just Tor's all in silhouette. Yeah, so I'd say it has some nice shots to it. It's not genius, but there's actually some decent stuff in there. Let's see. If there were special effects, what were they like? Nah. I mean, the makeup on Tor looked okay. That looked all right. He's all kind of burnt up and stuff, all kind of crusty. So yeah. Are there beautiful scenes? Not beautiful scenes, but there's some decent shots. Are there moments when the camera is used in an interesting way? Yeah, with the camera, like I said, in the cave, the camera at times it's far back and you can see Tor, in the distance, and he's kind of got the silhouette going. There's nice shots of him just walking around this desert. So yeah, that's why I think this should get better treatment, because make the picture look better, remaster it and stuff like that. Try to find the most complete version of this possible. Did you enjoy the film? Why or why not? What were its good points and bad points? Well, I've already said I really like the movie. That if I had to rate it, I would give it probably, like I said, like the. Actually, I forgot what I said. I think I said it was if I was giving it 5, like if it had to have 5 Tor Johnsons, I would give it 4 Tor Johnsons, just because I enjoyed it that much. Maybe in between 3 Tors and 4 Tors out of 5 Tors, if that makes sense. What were its good points? I was never bored. I thought some of the photography looked good. It's got planes flying around. It's got a guy parachuting. We got the whole North by Northwest scene, which was fun. Bad points. Film quality isn't very good. Film needs to be remastered. It sucks that there was no dialogue, but the narrator definitely said enough interesting things. That's for sure. So I think I have up here. Let's see. Oop. Let's see. Narrator. So those are the best. So here are some of the narrator quotes, which are great. A man runs. Someone shoots at him. Flag on the moon. How did it get there? Nothing bothers some people, not even flying saucers. Always on the prowl, looking for something or someone to kill. Quench the killer's thirst. Boys from the city, not yet caught by the whirlwind of progress. Feed soda pop to the thirsty pigs. Touch a button, things happen. A scientist becomes a beast. That pretty much sums up the whole movie right there. 24 hours without rest and still no enemy. In the blistering desert heat, Jim and Joe, the Rangers, plan their next attack. Find the beast and kill him. Kill or be killed. Man's inhumanity to man. That's dialogue right there. Let's see. What scene did you particularly enjoy or remember? And why is it good? Well, the North by Northwest scene is great because it's just a straightforward ripoff, which is kind of funny. I think the scene of Tor and the KGB guys getting hit by the nuclear blast, I like that. So that's 2. Tor kind of just killing anybody. So any of the scenes that Tor's in would be good. I think that's acceptable. What scene in particular did you not enjoy? Why is it bad? There aren't too many scenes I didn't enjoy because it's all kind of done in the same way. So the kid stuff maybe was a little boring. Thought that was maybe a little bit boring. But it's so short. So I don't think that there really was anything that I didn't enjoy. So I don't think it was bad. Would you recommend this film to what sort of people and why? Well, I had mentioned that it's fun, Friday, Saturday night, grab a pizza, get some beer, enjoy it with like another kind of B movie of this caliber. So that's the type of people I would recommend it to. And then it says, are there any other films you can compare this to? Sure. Anything by Ed Wood. Plan 9, Bride of the Monster. Yeah, pretty much anything. Manos, The Hands of Fate. Anything like that. Anything that you find on Mystery Science Theater 3000 or Riff Tracks. A lot of the stuff that Red Letter Media does. So any of those I think would be fine. So that goes through the questions. Not too many negative things. It's more just a film looking like a mess because it's just public domain and nobody cares. It's really unfortunate. So let's see if there's anything. Else here to kind of go over. So yeah, so the beginning of the film is kind of weird. So this is where we're kind of get into the plot of things. A woman steps out of a shower and is attacked and strangled to death by a mysterious man as a clock ticks, then stops. That's the one where she's topless for some reason, which I don't know how that gets by YouTube. They shut down my entire channel because of nudity, and here this has nudity and they don't do anything. And the guy does kind of look like Tor Johnson because he's got the torn shirt and everything, but who knows? It's probably something from a totally different movie. And then this is later or possibly before, because maybe it is, maybe that the person who's attacking that woman, maybe it is Tor Johnson. So later or possibly before in Yucca Flats, Nevada, Soviet scientist Joseph Javorsky Johnson has defected from the USSR and arrives in America with a briefcase carrying various military secrets, including the Soviet moon landing. Okay. Javorsky and his American contacts are suddenly attacked by a pair of KGB assassins, Cardoza and John Morrison, killing Korjowski's contacts and bodyguards. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. Javorsky flees into the desert, walking for a great distance. And yeah, there's a lot of walking. And the searing heat causes him to discard much of his clothing. When he wanders in range of an American nuclear test, which apparently they get no warning for, the bewildered Russian is transformed by it into a mindless beast with an uncontrollable urge to kill. And that's also where the two KGB agents are killed. He proceeds to murder a couple in a car on a nearby road, prompting pursuit from the police officers Jim Archer, who's Stafford, and Joe Dobson, Aiton, are their last names. Meanwhile, a vacationing family ventures along the same road after stopping at a service station. The family's two young sons, Ronald and Alan Francis, wander into the surrounding desert where they eventually encountered and escape from the mutated Javorsky. Their father, Douglas Mellor, searches for them but is mistaken for the killer by one of the police officers who is searching for the murderer from the air in a small plane. The officer opens fire with a high-powered rifle on the innocent man who manages to escape. And that's the North by Northwest scene. Eventually, the family is reunited and the police shoot and mortally wound, so he doesn't die, Javorsky. A jackrabbit later nuzzles his dying body, and using the last of his strength, he creases it before dying. I don't know, he moves around a lot, so maybe he's dead, maybe he isn't. So that's pretty much the story for it. So yeah. What does legacy say here? Some critics have criticized the film as one of the worst sci-fi horror films. Oh, I was right, sci-fi horror films ever made, and one of the all-time worst films of any kind, even suggesting it may be worse than Ed Wood's legendary bad Plan 9 from Outer Space. Plan 9 from Outer Space is not that bad. In 1995, the television comedy series Mystery Science Theater featured the Beast from Yucca Flats, helping the film to develop a cult status. So, yeah, there's a fair amount of background on here, that like production background, but I'm not going to get into all that. If you guys want to read up more about it, it's on Wikipedia, but it does. Well, there is. Let's see. Opening murder scene. Okay, still, because this is where the topless woman is killed by the unknown person. So let's see. The first scene in the film is the strangulation murder of a woman who just stepped out of the shower by a man whose face is never shown. It is implied that the killer raped her corpse. The murderer is dressed like Javorsky after the blast, but the murderer is never mentioned during the actual film, nor is there any apparent time and or place in the film where it could be said to occur. According to an interview with producer Cardoza by film historian Tom Weaver, the scene was added after the film was complete because director Francis liked nude scenes. Some prints, such as the one used for Mystery Science Theater 3000, were edited to show the woman clothed during the duration of this scene, running 81 seconds, with the only nudity being a brief flash of breast as she towels herself in front of a mirror. In the 2003 Alpha video DVD print, which is slightly longer version of the scene, runs 93 seconds, where the woman is shown naked as she puts on a pair of underwear with both breasts visible several times before she is shown walking out of the room. Oh, so that is this. Yeah, 2003 Alpha video. So this is it. This is the version you want. This is the uncut version. Other ones may be cut, unless they took it from this and put it up on YouTube or something. So this is the version that you want. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of info on this film here. Yeah. Well, okay, why not? Let me just look this over. So production. The setting of the film, Yucca Flats, was based on the real life Yucca Flats, which has been called the most radiated nuclear blasted spot on the face of the earth. In 1970, 9 years after the film was made, 86 workers were exposed to radiation during the Yucca Flats Bainbury test. In March 2009, Time identified the accident as one of the world's worst nuclear disasters. Wow. Actual shooting locations for the film were all in California, Santa Clarita, desert scenes, Sugaris? No, there's no R. I don't know. Us. So I don't know. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Airplane scenes and Van Nuys opening scene interior. The movie was filmed without a soundtrack. Narration, voiceovers, and some sound effects were added in post-production to avoid having to synchronize the audio to the picture. Characters speak only when their faces are either off screen, yeah, I mentioned that, or not clearly visible due to darkness or distance. Likewise, during scenes in which firearms are used, the muzzles of the guns are usually out of shot when the weapons are fired. Oh, yeah, that happens a lot. During scenes of gunplay, many characters appear at first to have suffered life-threatening bullet wounds, only to appear in later scenes fully recovered with no visible signs of having been wounded. Extensive narration is used in a lieu of plot points being conveyed through dialogue. Film historian Bill Warren stated the AFI, American Film Institute, catalog says the film may have been reissued in 1964 as Girl Madness. According to producer Anthony Cardoza, the film's closing scene in which Johnson's character, expressing a final bit of humanity, embraces a jackrabbit, was not planned. A wild rabbit entered the shot while the camera was rolling, and Johnson improvised. The film's total budget was estimated at $34,000. So there we go. All right, so that's it. Please, check out this film. There's a variety of ways of doing it. So, I think it's fun. And if you're going to buy it, this is the version to get. I did happen to see that there was a version on YouTube that had the nudity in it. So it's probably taken from this one. So, yeah, that's it. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A lot of reading going on, kind of like the movie. I did a lot of narration during this. So basically you can go wash some dishes or just kind of enjoy yourself on the sofa or whatever it is and not even watch the screen. So isn't that nice? All right. So thank you very much. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.